everyone! Welcome in or welcome back. It's Deanne here. Tonight there is an ice storm and a blizzard happening simultaneously, so I am going nowhere. I am staying indoors all night. My first semester of university is already done, so let's get a beverage and talk about it. So I started this channel in the summer with the intention of documenting my back to school journey. I wanted to make a video every month and maybe a few shorts in between with my thoughts and general progress through the semester. Well, I did really well with that for the first half of the semester, and I really wanted to make a midterm check-in video. I didn't really have midterms in either of the two classes I was taking. It was more like a quiz or a test every month and then another assignment kind of every month or so. The major papers for both of my classes were introduced at about the midterm mark though, and once those were introduced, it was just on like, don't look at me, don't talk to me, I am just doing schoolwork when I'm not doing like day job work. Just everything got so busy from about mid-October, end of October till last week, basically. It was a blur of weekly classes and readings and doing lots of research, doing my smaller assignments, plus working my 40 hours at my day job and going to 2 dance classes a week. My dance studio had its fall showcase the first weekend in December, so there were also extra practices and a tech rehearsal and a dress rehearsal. And because of who I am as a person, I had to make costumes for myself. A lot of people that I dance with tend to just kind of buy Shein slop, which I just can't bring myself to do. So I always have to budget extra time to be at a sewing machine. So I danced in 2 pieces. One of the pieces I made a costume, and then the other one I was lucky enough to be able to just thrift pieces and kind of put them together. It's easy when the theme of that piece was zombies, so like just find like the cheapest, crappiest clothes and make them crappier looking and put a bunch of fake blood on it, and you have a costume. So this semester I took 2 classes. I had English 100, Critical Reading and Writing 1, and Indigenous Studies 100, Introduction to Indigenous Studies. English was a night class on campus once a week, and then Indigenous Studies was completely online, no lectures, no classes or anything, just kind of weekly modules and readings I had to do. And then there were assignments and quizzes, and there were like specific times where we had to like post to the forum, where it's like, read this thing and reflect on it and post to the forum kind of thing. I am so full of cat hair. Why am I so full of cat hair? There, we'll test it out together. How's that? Yeah, you like that? Good talk. The Indigenous Studies class was dense. There was so much information packed into one class. It started with like 450 people enrolled, and by the end, I think there were about 350 people. Just a bunch of people dropped for various reasons. The prof isn't necessarily what I would call strict, but she's maybe more particular. I am a good student. I would have never ever imagined like cheating on an exam or an assignment or anything like that. That is not me whatsoever. And several times throughout the semester, even I had a moment of, I hope I don't get dinged for academic misconduct in this. Like, I did not commit academic misconduct, but I was always afraid that like I was doing something that would get me an academic misconduct. It reminded me of that episode of The Simpsons when the teachers went on strike and all the community had to teach all the kids. And Jasper was in like Bart's class, I think, and he was saying all the things that the kids could do that would like earn them a paddling. And I felt like so many times there were things that I was doing where it's like, that's a paddling. So as of recording this video, I haven't got my mark back for my major term paper or the last quiz, which was just a unit quiz, but then like at the last minute she was like, but also this is going to count as your final exam. And it's like, cool, okay. So I don't have marks back for either one of those things yet. I literally don't even know if I passed the class. I'm like a good student, so I assume I passed, but everything is so hit and miss with this class that I really don't know what to expect. So I guess stay tuned. We'll see. I'm pretty sure I did okay in this class, but who knows? So here's hoping. It's the one class that I have ever really felt like I don't care what happens in this class as long as I pass. Usually I'm the kind of person who is like, I have to get at least a 75 or else there's no point in me being in this class. But with this class, when I was working, especially on the term paper, I'm like, I just want to get it done and hand it in and pass it because I'm done. I'm done with this class. The subject matter was quite interesting. I learned a lot on Indigenous matters and history, and there were some issues that I kind of were like made more clear to me throughout the class. The latter part of the course, I was just like crying every week with the reading, where we were studying like residential schools and the Indian Act and the 60 Scoop and stuff like that. It's like absolutely an important class. I can see why it's like one of those necessary classes for, I think, every undergrad degree. That's like a class that's like a required class, and I can see why. It's like very foundational, very fundamental, very important. But there's just so much information. My English class was an interesting class. I was really excited to be in a classroom taking a class that was directly related to my degree. It was a small class. It wasn't like a lecture hall or anything. It was just a little class of like maybe 40-ish kids. And I say kids because they were all 18 or 19 and kids. I knew I'd be surrounded by young folk because I'm taking lots of 100 level courses. So it's all kids that were just in high school last year or the year before. But I didn't expect them to be all kids. I thought maybe there would have been like one or two people in their 30s and then me and then all the kids. Maybe once I get out of the 100 level classes, that will change. But right now, I just feel like it's like just surrounded by people who are literally more than half my age or less than half my age. Their age times 2 plus more is my age. So this class, even though it's part of the English program, it is still one of those classes that like every undergrad needs to take because it is about critical reading and writing. So there's a million sections of it. And I just happened to take the section I did because it was the one that fit in with my schedule. It was a night class. I could take it, after work kind of thing. And so that's just the one I took. I ended up quite liking the prof. He's pretty chill, maybe like a little bit older than me. He's really into like sci-fi and current politics, and that kind of flavored a lot of the class discussions. So I quite enjoyed that aspect. Because it is a foundational class, there was a lot of grammar and mechanics of writing and whatnot. I've already improved my writing a lot just by taking that one class. It's really forced me to kind of like slow down and focus my writing and like, what am I trying to say? What are these the right words to say it? Kind of what is the most like concise way to say what I'm trying to say? It just makes me be a lot more thoughtful about the words that I'm putting down on the paper. And I always thought I had pretty good grammar before this. But going into this class, once you really like break down exactly what the very particular rules of grammar are, I guess I'm practically illiterate because there are still rules that I'm still thinking about. Like, is that how you say that? Or would you say it like this? Or it's the kind of thing where like there's basic everyday grammar and then there's like English professor grammar, and I am not at English professor grammar level yet. Maybe I'll get there one day. So I'm still waiting for my final marks in that class as well. I think at the end of or mid next week, all the grades are like officially due. So I will know soon, but as of right now, I don't have a final mark in that class either, but I think I did pretty decent in that one. Here are a few observations I made from being in the classroom. Number one, the kids are always on their phone. Always on their phone. Like, hey, can you turn off TikTok while we're in class? Two, while we're at it, can you shut the fuck up when the prof is talking? I hope I put that in long enough into the video that YouTube doesn't ding me for saying that, but seriously, can you just shut the fuck up while the prof is talking? There were like 4 girls in that class that just talked through every class every single week. I wanted to like throw a book at them or something. Like, just, you don't have to be here. Just go out in the hallway and have a conversation and then come back when you're done. Like, just shut up. And then my third observation, the AI use. Oh my God, the AI use. In the modern parlance of the kids, we're absolutely cooked. Totally chopped. What do you mean you need to use AI to outline your paper? Just start writing. That's just start writing and you'll get to what you need to say. You don't need AI for that. I am very staunchly anti-AI, and as are most people around me. So I'm in this little like bubble, I guess, of anti-AI people. So when I move out of my little bubble, it was shocking to see just how many people are using AI and what they're using AI for. You're in school to learn and to learn how to think about things. You don't need AI for that? We're cooked, fam. So overall, I enjoyed my semester, even if I did get really stressed out at times and frustrated at others. I still went into class every week feeling like I stood out like a sore thumb. Why is someone's mom in this class? Also, because of my personality, I was the annoying person actually participating in class every week. A question would be asked and my hand would go up. I know the answer. I never overstepped. I always gave people a chance to answer the question first. But if no one else was answering, it's like, I know the answer. I can answer this. With a class of like 40-ish people, there were like 5 of us that were kind of carrying the conversations most of the time. So, after a while it was like, well, I just answered the last question, but no one else is answering, so I know the answer. Hi, it's me, your annoying mom that's in the class for some reason. I still don't know if going back to school was the right thing. I'm finished semester 1 and I'm still like, should I be doing this? Is this a thing? Should I be doing this? I'm enrolled in classes for next semester and I'm going to them. But still, all the time, I'm like, I don't know. Is this right for me? Should I be doing this? I feel like a fish out of water, a complete anomaly. I tell people I'm back in school and naturally their follow-up question is, oh, what are you going to do with an English degree? And I just kind of tell them, have an English degree? Look, I realized this fall this might just be my midlife crisis project. And that's okay. Joe Scott recently made a YouTube video where he talked about kind of his shifting opinion on the midlife crisis. It used to be a thing that we would snicker at, like a paunchy middle-aged guy buying a convertible or whatever. But as you become middle-aged, not that I would know anything about that, but once you do, you realize that your clock is kind of starting to run out and you're finally in a position that maybe you can pay for things like a fancy car or an education. And you don't want to live with regrets, so you just go for it. My parents died when they were 60 and 61. While I take considerably better care of myself than my parents did, and I don't have any health problems that could put me in an early grave, it is a trip to think about. 60 is only 15 years away.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would.
And if that's all I have left, I don't want to get there and think, I wish I would have gotten that degree. So I'll just keep going to classes, keep participating in discussions, keep doing my best. Next semester, both my classes are online. I think that'll help take the anxious edge off of being perceived. No one knows you're a 45-year-old lady when you're online. So that's semester 1 down. I survived! I know I won't get another video out by the end of the year. I'm looking forward to some serious downtime before classes start up again at the beginning of January. I'm still working my day job, but it's nice to be just working my day job. I have some good ideas and direction for future videos, so I do hope to be back early in the new year. But until then, I love you, be kind, have a happy holiday and a new year. Now that school and dance are done for the year, I gotta clean my neglected house.